Welcome to Love Fitness Studios podcast, live from Manchester, UK, speaking to entrepreneurs in the fitness, health and well-being industry, sharing stories about the real-life challenges and hustle. Now, over to your host, Nick Phillips.
Okay guys, welcome to Love Fitness Studios podcast number 11. We have got Andy Jones from Andy Jones Fitness.
Andy Jones Fitness, yeah.
Andy Jones.
Not as much personal training.
No? Andy Jones Fitness.
Yeah.
I like that. How's it going, Andy?
Very well, mate. You?
Yeah, thank you so much for coming down. So I always like to start off right at the beginning. Tell me about your childhood, where you grew up, what school was like, fitness. So yeah, take me right back.
That's going back a long time, that pal. I just want to put a disclaimer out there.
Okay.
I'm getting on a bit now. I'm 48 this year. I've had a few bangs to the head over the years, and my memory isn't as great as it used to be. So sometimes I get people's names wrong, locations, dates and stuff. So if anyone's listening, they go, that happened. So there you go, pal. Yeah.
You know what?
My memory's struggling big time.
It happens, yeah.
Maybe it's this lockdown.
Yeah, you look great for 60. No, so go on, tell me where you grew up. Are you a Manc lad or?
Funny. So, I lived in Altrincham, went to school in Altrincham, which I thought was in Cheshire or South Manchester, but when it comes to these tier systems, Altrincham's Greater Manchester, which was quite funny actually, because people like social media groups are saying, how come we're in tier 3, we're from Cheshire, but Greater Manchester, so...
It must be close then, is it Hale then you're in... So you must be on the borderline there.
Yeah, right on the border. So you've got Altrincham, you've got Hale, and then you pretty much you've got Cheshire, like Lymm and places like that.
Right, okay.
And then next door was you got Sale. But
we've learned a lot about areas.
When I'm on holiday, I was always a man from South Manchester.
Yeah, the posh bit, the nice bit.
But like the address and stuff is Cheshire, so try and class myself as South Manchester. But some people from North Manchester will probably say I'm from Cheshire.
Yeah.
Well, so I went to wasn't born in Altrincham. I was born in Exeter, but brought up in Altrincham. Went to school in Altrincham. But my dad, when he come out of the army, so my dad did 25 years in the army. Finished as a RSM, Regimental Sergeant Major. So our shoes in our house were always very clean, you know what I mean? And he had a pub. He was given a pub to run in Wivenshaw Labour Club. So we lived above that pub, but we still had an house in Altrincham, so I still went to schools in Altrincham.
Right.
But when we lived up there, I didn't know anyone. So like of an evening and whatnot after school, when we were back up there, I would just bang a football against the wall every night. Yeah. So that's kind of how I got really into football. Now I love football just through smashing a ball against the wall every night on my own and pretending I was like, in them days, Ian Rush and people like that, you know, banging goals in.
Liverpool fan?
No, I'm a City fan. But I know Ian Rush was a big goal scorer, and I always remember as a player. How old are you?
I'm 38.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I thought you was a lot older than that.
Yeah.
38, you're only a youngster. There was a player called Norman Whiteside for United, yeah? Are you a Red then? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think it was 1982 where he scored a goal.
That's when I was born.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think it was 82 or 84, he scored a goal for United at Wembley, FA Cup final. And he just stepped over and curled it in the bottom corner. I remember I used to practice that always against this wall, so I could curl a ball in.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of memories of
what
primary
sort of age?
school.
So it's primary school?
Yeah, primary school. Till I was about 11. Okay. And then we moved on from that pub. I had some great memories from there. Obviously in them days, pubs weren't open all day, so when it was shut in the afternoon and stuff, Dad would give me the keys to the pool table. Yeah. I'd get the balls out and be playing pool all the time. So it was a massive like labour club. So you'd have the bingo on there and stuff like that. It was good times. Yeah. Charleston it was rough in them days. We had 2 Rottweilers.
Right.
And they had like a bit of free roam around the pub and stuff of a night time, and there was like a little precinct, and I remember like the shops in the precinct was always getting robbed and done over and stuff like that, but the pub never got touched. Obviously down to the Rottweilers, back in the day, Jodie and Jess. Yeah. So I reckon that was till about 10. Yeah. And then we moved back into our house in Altrincham.
Yeah.
And then in them days, you took the 11 plus, and if you passed it, you went to grammar school, and if you didn't pass it, you went to the secondary modern.
Okay.
So I passed. My mates, I didn't. I was like, I can't believe this, but I was like, really didn't want to go to the grammar school, an all boys school at the time, but my mum made me go.
So you're quite a bright lad. Yeah. You academic.
I'd say the person sat next to me was pretty bright in the 11 place. So went there. So at that school, there was no girls or anything. So it was all football and fighting, really. That's all I was really interested in. And with that, I played for the school teams, captain of the football team, played for a Sunday team and so forth. Played for Trafford schools, which I really enjoyed. We're all pretty big for our age. A lot of lads got signed up for clubs.
Did they?
Yeah.
So back in the day, then what was the academies like? Now, like there's just starting with very young academies now.
Yeah.
Was the academies then?
No,
No,
it was nothing like that. So you got signed as schoolboy. You had schoolboy forms, which meant no other club could approach you, and then you couldn't sign. Again, some of the facts might be a bit wrong here. It was a long time ago, Nick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you signed as schoolboy, and then your plan was to get an apprenticeship, and then you did your apprenticeship for 2 years and get a pro contract, unless you were you were shit hot or class like Ryan Giggs. Then he would have got apprenticeship and then pro at 17, straight on the 17th birthday. So then you tied in. So was you around the circle when Giggs was on the?
Yeah,
played against him
because he was like. Yeah, I hear his name a lot in the Manchester.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, he was like the one, wasn't he?
Oh, mate. So he's my year. So
is he?
Yeah. So he was Ryan Wilson in them days.
Right.
And he played for Salford Boys. So we were Trafford Boys. And then I think he played for Dean Sports or one of them.
Yeah.
Out from round here, Salford.
Yeah.
And I played for Unicorn and a bit of a rivals. You know what I mean? And I remember playing it. So I played for Trafford. So this was about 15, and we were big. We were all big. We were all strong.
Yeah.
We were all like, in them days, if you like the hardest kid in the year, you were called cock of the year and all that.
Yeah.
And like all the team, most of the players were the cocks of their year from school and all
Right.
that. Like, so we had a tough team, and I remember playing against Salford Boys, and we'd already heard about Ryan Wilson because he played for England schoolboys as well.
Okay. Even though he's Welsh.
Exactly. So
Right.
people don't know this.
Yeah.
So. In them days, you'd have England schoolboys on telly, and they'd play at Wembley, and that was your dream. You wanted to get picked for England schoolboys, and play on telly at Wembley. You know what I mean? That was your big dream in them days. So we knew of Ryan Wilson, and mate, he was class. He was absolutely class. The tactics was to just kick him to death every time we got the ball, kick him, and we couldn't catch him then. And we were fast. We were for our age group. You got into your Trafford Borough and all that lot because you were big. And you were fast, some of us had developed quicker in them days. You get some of you, as a young lad, some of you get man strength earlier than others, don't you? So he stood out, mate. He was absolutely class, and he played for England schoolboy. So we already knew about him, and we knew he was going to be a big name. But we were quite lucky. The team above us, the year above us at Trafford, was class, and they'd won quite a few things, and a lot of them had got contracts, City, United. And all that, and then so we had a lot of scouts watching us. So I was just an out-and-out goal scorer. Me, I was all about glory.
What position were you?
Centre forward.
Was you?
Centre forward. Stick it in the air, get on the end of it, and I had a bit of pace, a bit of speed in them days. No more, but so I used to bang a few goals in, and then I got scouted to go Bolton Wanderers. Went to the trials on Burnden Park.
Wow.
On the stadium.
Yeah.
Amazing. Played well. It was just I was one of them, mate. I was always pretty lucky with things. Things just went well on the day. Things went right on the day.
Back to you. I just want to pause you there.
Yeah.
With your mindset, I'm going to be a professional footballer.
Yeah.
At that age.
Yeah.
That's all you thought about.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a footballer.
That was all I wanted to be. Was a pro footballer.
Right, go on, carry
professional
on.
football, and that was it.
Yeah.
As I said, I just played football every lunchtime or got into scraps because cock of the year and all that. Like, you end up like kids from other schools wanted to come and fight you and all that. You meet in a bus station, have a scrap.
Right, yeah.
But football wise, and that was it. I went to the trials of Bolton Wanderers and I got signed as schoolboy at 14, which meant nobody else could approach you. You couldn't sign for anybody else until you were 16. So a schoolboy forms from 14 to 16.
Yeah. And
the goal from that is to impress them, and then you get a full-time apprenticeship, which is like the academy today.
Yeah.
But you're full-time, you get a wage. And that went well as well. I was banging goals in for fun. So you're allowed to play for your school team, and then you would play for it was classed as a youth team, but it was like under 14s, under 15s, under 16s, in their Sunday league. So like Boundary Park was Oldham Athletics team in that same league and stuff like that. And then you try and get an apprenticeship, which I got eventually. But my dad was big into his football. He was a United fan, I was a City fan. Yeah. And my dad used to like ferry me everywhere with it, everywhere. He used to take me everywhere. And then he died when I was 16 from cancer, dead quick. Found out about it New Year's. I think it was New Year's Eve, and then he died on February the 10th. So it was quite quick. Which we were close, so it hit me pretty hard, really. At
the age of 16.
Yeah. And then I found out the week after that I'd got my apprenticeship. They told me then, so my dad never knew. I was pretty wounded, to be honest. And he was like, you always have someone you're trying to impress, don't you? So it was me when I used to play football and all that. If I scored a goal, my dad would give me £1. And I used to bang him in for fun. And then I was lucky. I played in good teams. Yeah. So you're only as good as the players around you, aren't you? So I played in good teams with good players, and we used to win things all the time. So we'd be banging goals in for fun, and my dad would be giving me quids for every goal. Do you know what I mean? So I found out after that, like a week later, I got the apprenticeship, which was my goal, which I really wanted to do.
That was with Bolton.
That was with Bolton Wanderers, yeah. So I'd stuck with Bolton Wanderers. Yeah. Things had gone really well for the team. I'd playing on my Sunday team. The lads played for my school team. Played for Trafford. So this was when I was 16 in 5th year. So then the days it was a final 5th year. And all through school, all I wanted to is get my apprenticeship and become a pro footballer. I mean, what the only other dream at school was, I remember when I was in 1st year, the first 11, because we went to grammar school, you had like a first 11 pitch, which all the upper 6th formers played in. And at the end of each season, they were played as teachers in a match, and you get half the afternoon off school to watch the match, watch the teachers against the first team. And that was like me drive to play for the school team, the first 11 against the teachers. Yeah. And fortunately, when I was 5th year, I got into the first 11, even though it was the upper 6, so they were all like 2 years above.
So you must have been good.
I was all right. I was big and strong and score goals and get stuck in there and held my own. So I did, and like I said, I got lucky. Like I'd shoot from ridiculous angles and it'd go in.
You know what?
How the fuck did that go?
Was that just cool? Andy did what you want. Yeah.
Fucking hell, did you mean that?
Yeah.
So, I was just trying to... But anyway...
Did you just have a good shot on you then? Was you skillful? Like, if you did little drills, yeah,
I'd do a little...
Could you play with both feet?
Yeah.
You could play with both feet? You could score with both feet?
Yeah. Stick it in the air. Yeah. Hold it up. Like I said, in them days, I had a bit of pace as well. Drop the shoulder, take them on,
so
go around them.
Yeah, like a workhorse.
Yeah, well, I think it was down to just... You know what it's down to? Was drilling it at the ball against the wall for hours at Wivenshaw Labour Club. Because I didn't know anyone, and then learning how to curl it and slice it and swerve it, you know what I mean?
It's repetition, isn't it? It's like anything, it's repetition.
Exactly. But we know that now, don't we? But we don't know that when we're young, do we? We're just doing your thing, don't you? So, and I know how important it is now to just drill and repetition. And that's an example of how it worked for me. So that was my dream. And I got into the first 11 in 5th year, and things were going on really well. And then the last game of the season, I might be wrong here, but I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was Sale Grammar. So I went to Altrincham Grammar, this was Sale Grammar, which was our rivals and stuff. And we beat them, and I scored. And I got sent off. I can't remember what it was. It would have been just like following through on on a fullback. You know, back in the day, you'd fullback would ping it down the wing and you just follow through, give him a nudge.
Yeah.
And I got sent off. And it was just one of them things. I get sent off now and again, don't you? If you're an aggressive player, these things happen. And thought nothing of it. And then the teacher who run the school first 11 said, you know, it's a bad thing getting sent off for the first 11. It's embarrassment to the school. Essentially gets stale grammar. You know, it's a big issue. So we've decided you can't play against the teachers. Mate, I was absolutely wounded. I was distraught, seeing my arse. I pretty much, by then I'd already knew I'd my contracts in Bolton Wanderers as well. I thought, fuck these. I was devastated, mate, because it was my little dream. You know, and then maybe I could have begged and all that lot, you know, or wrote a letter of apology or something, but you don't, do you, when in them days, you know. Plus I didn't have my dad to, you know,
it's quite harsh that though,
yeah,
it's
mate,
quite
I was
harsh,
devastated.
yeah.
But I tell you what I think it is, thinking back now, they probably knew I would have got stuck in on him, because there was one teacher, right, there was one school, I won't name his name and all that, but, and I'm thinking back now, he was a bit of a bully. He wasn't a bully with us bigger lot, the ones who were bigger. He used to be a bit of a bully to the little kids in the class, you know, a bit snide, a bit of a bully and all that lot. And I really wanted to do him during the game. It was one thing I was like, really wanted to do, just get all above board. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure I shouldn't be saying all this. Got to remember I was 16, you know. But I was devastated. But when I think back, I think, you know what, maybe it was a great excuse for me not to play in that match. And as I'm kind of a mature adult now.
Yeah.
I think it's probably better I didn't have, because I probably would have done something stupid with all the school watching. Yeah. And you're like, you're cock of the school, aren't you? You've got to do something stupid, haven't you?
Yeah.
You know. So that was the thing. That's the real things that stand out for me at school. That was that disappointment there, you know, of not playing for the school team, and then when it comes round, it was a great honour. So first 11, you got to wear a badge. I think it's called a blue or something. Yeah. When you play for your first 11, and you get to wear that on your blazer and stuff like that, you know. And so I remember seeing my arse didn't want to wear that. And then also when they did the school pictures, you know, it's an old school. It's got a lot of history and tradition, that school. And you know, there's some really old pictures on the walls of bygone headmasters and football teams, the football, the rugby and the cricket. Yeah. And when they went to do the end of season photograph as well, team picture, because he wouldn't let me play against the teachers, I just refused to be on the picture. You've seen my ass, which is immature now, I think. Yeah. It was right. That's what I had to do.
But you had your heart set on that for so many years.
So that's the first thing. Like, my dad died, and that happening. They're the big disappointments that I remember up to 16.
But that stuck with you for 20 years.
30 years. 30 years.
It stuck with you. Yeah.
So, but other than that, everything went to plan. If I went to trials or played football, everything just kind of went. You know, I passed 11 plus, like, bloody hell, you know, just things, I was just one of those kind of lucky people. Things just went to plan. And went to, like I said, went to football trials and get spotted and play for Trafford and then Greater Manchester and all that sort of stuff. And then that's when life changed.
Okay.
So got to 16, full time, Bolton Wanderers. I've made it in my mind. I'm going to be a professional footballer and all.
Did you get paid at that age?
Yeah. It wasn't much on apprenticeship. So how it worked was you was full time. You were an apprentice, but you're full time there. You got paid. You're part of the playing squad, and you went to college once a week. You went to college on a Thursday, and that was part of your apprenticeship. And you did that for 2 years, and then you played for the youth team, the A team, the reserves.
It's a good life, isn't it? It's a good life as a child.
Yeah, absolutely. It was hard at first because my dad had died. My mum didn't drive. I had to get the bleeding bus from Altrincham to Bolton, which is a bit of a trek, but you're not bothered. So when I went there, it was an eye-opener because I was used to being big, strong, fast compared to other kids. Now you're playing with men, you know. We're first-year apprentices. The second-year apprentices are going to do you at any opportunity.
Would they open up to European players as well at that?
No.
Was it? It's just all English lads.
Yeah,
it's all English lads.
Yeah, all English.
Yeah.
It wasn't in them days, you see. So you're talking 1990 to 91 was my first season
So
full
it's
time.
not like it's now where they poach everyone from all different countries.
No. There wasn't many foreign players. You know, the foreign players who stand out, like, who springs to mind? There wasn't any at Bolton Wanderers, really. No, like Ozzy Ardiles and Ricky Villa, they're the foreign players. Arnold Muir, you probably remember, you know, at United. So there wasn't as many foreign players. It was all kind of British players. So that was an eye-opener from day one.
Okay.
Pre-season was tough. I mean, tough, you know. I wasn't into running anyway. I loved any sport. I was one of these kids, any sport I could pick it up pretty easy and was half decent. So, you know, just that hand-eye coordination, reflex, whether it be table tennis or badminton or whatever, or anything other than golf. But that's a story we'll talk about that later about golf. But anything, so I wasn't into running, but I could run and all that. I could do it cross country, but that was an eye-opener. Said you were with the seasoned pros, the second year apprentices were a lot fitter than us first years. It was a real eye-opener, and it was tough. And at first it didn't go well. You know, I was struggling. I had no one to talk to about it, because you don't, do you? It was tough. My confidence. I was a confident player, centre forward, stick it in the box again, and my confidence went. I've not really thought about all this. I've never really spoke about it, actually. It's quite interesting to analyse it.
People say on these
I'm actually analysing it, but I've never really spoke to anyone about this.
It's like therapy, this. 2 years therapy.
Yeah. We make to change something. As a coach, we're usually the therapists, and we know all about our clients and their problems and the children and the pets and things that are going on at work and stuff.
You never step back, do you?
No, because then he wants to learn about us. So where was I? I've lost my trail.
So you were saying about the mindset. So
So that wrecked my confidence, and I wasn't high up in the pecking order, you know. So it did mess with my confidence, and I kind of probably played up a little bit. And in them days, 1990, 91 was a big rave scene. Like people who, the older lot from where I was from, like they would go to like play a club called Shelley's in Stoke, in the Hippodrome in Middleton, I think it was, your Pleasure Dome in Farnworth, Sequins in Oz in Blackpool.
Before the Hacienda? Was it Hacienda around?
Hacienda as well, yeah. Mate, I tried to get in the Hacienda when I was about 16, you know, because I was big for my age and all that lot, queued up and all that lot. Got to the door, won't let me in.
Was it the Noonans on the door then, or was it? Do you not remember?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Like, I'm well aware of the Noonans. I know exactly who they are. Yeah. So everyone knew who they were.
They were the famous doormen, weren't they?
Yeah, you knew not to. If the doorman said you weren't coming in, you don't play up. You just move on.
Yeah, you go.
So try to get in. Didn't get in.
Yeah.
So I went. The club just down the road called a Venue. Okay. But that was the only one. I think again one of them things. I think in life, because things had always. I was quite fortunate. Things had kind of just gone my way. As something didn't go my way, I gave up on it. Okay. And bollocks to this, I'll try something else. So I tried the Hacienda once, didn't get in, so never tried it again.
Yeah.
You know. So in them days, people were clubbing it, and people knocked about with my friends from school I grew up with, out clubbing it and raving and all that. There's all that drug scene then, like Ease and Whiz and stuff like that. I don't know if there was cocaine knocking about or whatever, but that was kind of like the rave drugs and stuff. Yeah. So that was what was kind of going on. Then, when I got to 17, passed my driving test, and because my dad had died and my mum didn't drive, she'd kept the money from selling his car and bought me a little car with that YVM 537Y, a little gold Escort. Okay. 1.3 GL.
You said your memory was bad.
You got important things.
Yeah. Like your first car. Love it.
I remember my dad's Capri back in the day, WTC 154M, a green Capri.
That's good memory.
It was a 2.8 gear, I think it was. Yeah. But so I had a car, but I had to insure it myself, which so I was 17, and that cost me 320 quid. So I know kids nowadays, it's going to cost you a couple of grand in it. Yeah. So I was one of the first ones to have a car out of the lads my age and stuff. So obviously over night time, everyone wants to dive in your car and you go mooching about, don't you, and stuff like that. So that was going on. So my football was starting to suffer a little bit. You know, I wasn't, because my confidence was knocked and I wasn't in favour, and I wasn't like a glory hunter or, you know, scoring all the goals. It kind of affected me football really. And when I look back, as much as I try my best, I should have been dedicated. You know, when I see people who've made it now, especially with the boxers where I'm at, and I see how dedicated they are to it, I wish I'd had somebody there to fucking get me in a headlock and say, this is a massive opportunity, and you can't. Things have changed now. Things have come easy to you up to here. If you don't fucking dedicate yourself and stop pissing around and doing this, it's going to come with nothing, you know. But it didn't, and I enjoyed doing other things and stuff back then. So I was So that was at Bolton Wanderers, and then we went to college on a Thursday. That was it. So I was always good at maths, and I quite fancied myself at being an accountant. Maths kind of come pretty easy to me.
At that age, then, you thought football is not for me now. You thought I'm not going to make it as a pro.
Well, not so. When we started, you had to pick what colleges and what courses you want to do, and I did pretty decent with GCSEs, to be honest. So I quite fancied, I'll do like I'll do an accountant, become an accountant, or get my accountancy qualifications and stuff like that. But when I got to Bolton, and so I thought I'm going to make it as a footballer, I've made it big time here. So the first week when you're putting down where you're going and all that lot, all the lads will go to the same college, Accrington and Rosendale College, right? Doing sports and leisure BTEC. Yeah. But all the other teams went as well. All the lads from City and Stockport, Blackpool, Preston North End, Rochdale, all them boys went. Yeah. So I just wanted to be with the lads, didn't I? So I put my name down and did that, which was ace. Met some top people there. Trying to think who was you might have heard of, who became big time. Trevor Sinclair.
Was he there?
Yeah.
City.
Yeah. Do you remember that goal he scored for QPR, that scissor kick back in the day?
It rings a bell.
Mate, amazing. Well, he did really well for England, didn't he?
Yeah.
That one tournament he played in, you know, that sticks to mind. He did brilliant. So there's a few the City players and all that, and we used to. Again, we thought we were big time, so we'd go. You know, we'd have our team tracksuits on and walk around the college on a Thursday, thinking we're a dog's bollocks. Yeah. You like you do and all that lot, you know what I mean? But it was good times. I really enjoyed the classes. Didn't really do much of the work, to be honest, because we went there for a bit of a buzz. Yeah. And the lads, you know, and got to meet some top lads, and some lads who were played for at Trafford were at Man City, so I got to see them again and stuff like that. So it was good. It was a buzz. Yeah. Again, when I look back, you see, I should have really have done something to help me with a career after football. So Bolton Wanderers, doing all that lot, a thing came up to anyone who's eligible to play for Wales, and because my dad was Welsh, so how it worked was my dad's full Welshman, but I was adopted, right? So I was adopted through the family. So the woman who gave birth to me, when she was 16, decided she didn't want me. Mm-hmm. So her auntie, who I call my mum, who is my mum, adopted me. So my mum and dad are quite a lot older, than what, how can I explain? So so when they adopted me, they were quite older than what the norm would be to have your own kids and all that lot. Yeah. So anyway, I was always passionate about, especially when my dad died, to be like allegiance to Wales in some way, even though I classed myself as English. Yeah. Although I've subsequently done my ancestry DNA, and I'm fucking 44% Scottish. Honestly, I couldn't believe it. But so that made me think, well, no, me. So I know nothing about me blood dad. Yeah. You know, so I'm guessing he must be Scottish. You know what I mean? But so. The opportunity come about allegiance for Wales. Anyone's got eligible for Wales, so I have my dad. So we went and played for 2 games for Wales under 17s. It was either Cardiff or Swansea, and stayed over for 2 nights. So Robbie Savage was in the team. He was at United at the time, and he was class. You could tell even at that level, even though we're apprentices and stuff, the ones who make it, they're a class above. And I mean the first touch, vision, awareness, speed. Are they just born with that? Do you think? Or you've got to have the talent. Yeah, can it be taught? It can be taught. You've got to have the talent, but things like you've got to have the talent anyway. It's like a maturity of the game as well, isn't it? Yeah. But speed and strength and stuff, awareness, reading the game, first 10 yards are in your head. You already know where you're going to pass the ball when it's coming over to you, you know.
And these,
you know where that player is there.
You Robbie Savages had that.
Yeah. A great... See, if you ever watch football, you see a centre midfielder, for example.
Yeah.
You think, why no one's fucking marking him? He's got loads of time on the ball.
Yeah.
It's not no one's marking him. He's thrown you that way. He's gone. He's made his space. He's lost the play. He knows the player's coming there, so he's turned away. You know, things like that. Until you're around, you know, the top players and they stand out above the rest, then you see it. For example, Phil Neal was a gaffer at Bolton Wanderers when I was there. So Phil Neal's big Liverpool legend. I think he had 52 caps for England, European Cups, you know, won the league, scored penalties in the European finals stuff. He was a legend. On a Friday, we'd have 5-a-side, quite easy stuff, 2-touch, whatever, before the first team played on a Saturday, or we had a game on a Saturday or whatever. So you'd play with the first team and all that lot, and Phil, the gaffer, and Mick Brown, who was his assistant at United under Ron Atkinson back in the day, who was like that, you know, he used to old school, you're going on a run, you know, you're on
used to train on Heaton Park,
mate, that's, you know, I talked about in eye opener on pre-season. We should do it on Heaton Park sometimes, and it was a killer. And one year, we were there, and Oldham Athletic were there as well, so it became a bit of a trade-off. And mate, we were beasted to death. They would fucking kill us. You know, it was wasn't surprised if you were sick after pre-season in the first couple of weeks because you were drilled, and it was different in them days. Either you'd have a full English or whatever.
Yeah, the nutrition wasn't the same.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Some pros smoked and all that lot.
Yeah, drank.
A lot of the pros anyway had a drink nearly every night. You know, they'd come in stinking a beer and whatnot, and that was a norm.
Yeah.
So I've gone off on a right tangent there.
No, that's good.
Phil Neal.
Yeah.
So he was class. He was the gaffer. But mate, his first touch, and he could ping it and things like that, you know. And he was like a step above the first teamers. He was a different level. So you saw that there was that level, and that was another level again. And they were the ones who made it and made a top career out of it, or played at top level. Right. It was just something, that first touch, you know, awareness and stuff.
So go on, you played for Wales.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So got to play for Wales. I think we played like a Belgian 11 under 17s for the first game. That went all right actually. I was kind of got my confidence back and all that lot, and then we played another game the next day. It was either against Swansea or Cardiff. While I was down there, so obviously, while I was down there, my mum come down. My mum come with me, but didn't stay there. She stayed at her sister and her sister's husband's house. And they came to watch the second game. So as it transpires, as I got to find out more about food history of my family and all that lot, they were actually in blood terms, my grandma and granddad, because I never had a granddad. Right. But anyway, so when I look back as well, that's nice. That he was a Welshman as well. Yeah. That it was nice that he got to, because my dad never got to see it. He would have been proud playing for Wales. Yeah. But at least the chap who by blood's my granddad, but I never really got to, you know, he wasn't considered my granddad or whatever. He got to see that. So that, when I look back as well, I'm quite proud that happened really. Yeah. So that went, and then you'd, as I said, Robbie Savage, he was a good kid as well. He was a good footballer, stood out, a bit of a buzz. Because we stayed in this big sports complex hotel, and we had a bit of a buzz a couple of nights, just mooching about, doing daft shit and like you do. And I didn't get a call back, which fair enough. You know, I never got called back to play more games for under 17s or 18s or whatever. So by the end of the season, I knew I wasn't going to get an apprenticeship, pro. I had another year to go, to 2 seasons. I knew I wasn't going to get a pro contract. Yeah. Just knew. And then you'd get the more apprentices coming in and stuff like that. And there was other centre forwards who were better than me in that pecking order as well. Younger first and second year pros, and then days he had some legends centre forwards as well. Tony Philliskirt, the guy was called, who was an absolute, legend. And then I think it was after I was Andy Walker from Celtic and Laurie Cunningham, people like that were there. So there was no chance. So I should have really just maybe have left or gone and tried to go to another club. Yeah. But I like the buzz, I like the people,
Yeah.
and I kind of sometimes it's a bit loyal to things too long for me on good, really. So I did this, and like even even our youth team coach had kind of said maybe you should go looking for other clubs, like don't some drastic changes. You ain't going to become, you're not going to get a contract.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I wanted to stay. I did. So I stayed for the second season.
Yeah.
And the kind of pressure was off a bit there, and then confidence got a bit better, and you're the second year then, so then you can like do daft shit to the first years, mate. The things that we used to have. I guess nowadays you'd probably you couldn't. In them days, daft things had happened to you, right? If you were in the the big baths after training. So at Burnham Park, that's where we used to get changed for the training as well. So they have the first team in a home. First team the first team squad in the home changing rooms, and then we'd be in away changing rooms, the apprentices and the young pros and stuff like that. Or someone, say it's a pro who's fucking fell out with a gaffer, and they'd have to come and come and get changed with us. But there's daft shit that used to go on, mate. It was just random stuff, socks would get cut in half, or just mad shit. Like, and then if you're last in the bath, or you're in the bath there, and some like, say you're first year and the second year apprentices were there, then he would grab you, and then you're gonna get cold tap on, in the big bath and drown you to death and all that. Like. But in it was just one of them things. It's just part of made you a man, didn't it? I guess like probably, I don't know what happened nowadays. I think probably people get arrested and stuff like that. But that's what happened to us. And then and you stuck it and you took it because you knew when you became a second year, you'd do it to the first years.
So there's a lot of banter.
Oh mate, it was class. It was good. It was good times. Just daft shit, and we all thought we were big time. So on match day, you'd be on match duty. So as an apprentice, one of you'd be on the first team tunnel as well. What's it called? Bench. I couldn't even remember the word.
Right,
then. Bench.
Yeah.
So you'd be on the bench. But then when you're walking up to the stadium, you park in the stadium car park with your pass, and you've got your Bolton Wanderers tie on.
Great childhood.
Oh mate, you loved it. Thought it was big time, and you. So you'd sign autographs and all that, like, even though they don't know who you are. Well, you've got the tie on, and you're walking in, and you've got your Adidas jacket on, and you've got your shaved hair at the sides, looking slick and all that. So you'd sign it. So good times. The first teamers. Sammy. Have you heard of a player called Sammy Lee?
I've heard of him.
So he was a big legend at Liverpool, England, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he finished his career at Bolton Wanderers, and he came, and he was a
big lad. He was a big lad, wasn't he?
He was a big lad, but not in height.
Right,
I don't mean anything else. I mean, like,
Sammy Lee,
yeah. And he was a fucking class with us. He'd been there, done it, won everything. He was a legend. He looked after us. He was class.
Yeah.
He'd come in sometimes, get changed with us lot in training. He was just brilliant. He had some players like that who were amazing. Yeah. So that was it. So leading up to there, and then. It's coming near the end of the season. Yeah. You'd get players who'd been released coming for trials near the end of the season who'd been told they weren't going to get in a pro contract. So you had like players who'd been 2 or 3 year pros, hadn't had a contract renewed. They'd come and train with us as well, and be in the trials and stuff like that. So I didn't want to do that. Again, that defeatist sort of attitude. I've not been offered a contract here. Well, I'm not going to go. No one else will want me. I'm not going to be a footballer. I was kind of lost of what to do, and I hadn't.
It's a lot of that for a kid, isn't it? To say that so from such a young age, all you want to do is be a footballer, and that's all you've had in your mindset, and then to be like, it's a lot to take. And you'd lost your dad as well. It's a lot to take on your chin, isn't it?
Yeah.
And figure out.
Looking back, yeah. To be honest, but you just crack on, don't you? So there was a kid, I forget his name now. Who Scouser, and he'd just come back from America, and he'd done a scholarship in the States. So, what's that all about? He says, mate, you play for the university team. Yeah. Everything's paid for. You get backhanders, right? Money wise and all that lot, and you play for the team. So the quality, it's top quality and all that lot. I thought quite interesting that. So I contacted the PFA, so the Players Football Association. Yeah, it was like the Players Union. And they would look after you and stuff like that. So, and they organised the trials. So they said, right, what you have to do, you have to take your SAT exams, and you have to score over a certain mark. And if you pass that, then you go to trials that we hold in Blackpool over a big weekend, and all the scouts from the big university teams in America come and scout you. So I said, I fancy a bit of that, put my name down. And then one of the other lads who knew he wasn't going to get a contract as well, Paul, at Bolton, he did it. He said, I'll have a bit of that as well. Yeah. We put our name down for them. We took our SAT exams in Manchester. They were tough, mate. They were tough then. Yeah. If memory serves me right, it was about 4 hours.
Was it?
Kind of general. It was like general knowledge, common sense. Well, maths and English type. I think you had to score like a certain score. Me and Paul did that. And we passed that. Yeah. So we went to the trials. So we went. So it was a Northwest trial. So it was lads from again Blackpool, Preston, not City really. You know, City in them days. City. A lot of the players had already had a nod and a wink. They did have a couple of years pro when they got the apprenticeship, especially the Irish and Scottish lads and stuff like that. Or because they were like a big club, City. So if they got released, they had a good chance of getting snapped up by a smaller club anyway because they'd been at City. United weren't like involved with all this. Like United had their own thing in them days anyway, you know. And again, like Liverpool. So
just on that with the United side of things. So the class of '92 must have been bubbling away. Did you know about that while you were in there with your Beckhams and your Nevilles and did you hear about them players or?
So United were. They were winning everything.
Were they?
My memory serves me correct.
Academy, or they had a better setup from the earlier stages.
Better setup, more money.
Yeah.
The top players went to City or United. Yeah. You know. So when I was at Bolton full time as an apprentice, it was 90 to 91, 91 to 92. So Giggs was my year. Yeah. So I think like the likes of your Beckhams and Nevilles, they're probably like 2 or 3, maybe a couple of years, and Scholes maybe a couple of years below me. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But we was aware of United. I can't. So we played everyone, but I can't remember playing United.
You don't remember coming up against them?
No, I don't. You see, but we play everyone else, but I don't remember. I don't even if I might be wrong, but it might have been tiered. It might have been, the A team and youth team maybe.
It's like that now, isn't it? You get your elites. So my son's playing a lot of football at the minute. Yeah, so he's been in pre-trials and stuff like that. He's only 7. Do you know what I mean? But they're snipping him up. So he was at City from the age of 5. Yeah. I know, but they've got your elites. They've got all this tier. You've got it's very, very difficult to get in there. Do you know what I mean? At such a young age as well. Yeah.
Do you play a bit?
No. No. I was always stuck in net. Yeah. But he loves it. You know what? Brilliant. He's a sporty kid. But yeah, like I say, when we went to City
What's his
Academy,
name?
Max Phillips. So when he went, I know. So when he went, he's a goal. He wants to be a goalie now.
There you go, mate. There you go.
He's only
it's your fault.
But that's what I mean. So yeah, seeing it at the elite levels and so it's like Man City's academy now. It's like its own little city alone. Do you know what I mean? You go in and it's incredible. They've got their own chefs. They've got the academy rooms with all the Xbox with all the computers in. It's incredible. Do you know what I mean? It's just amazing just to go and have a walk around. But yeah, so go on. So you didn't really hear of the class of '92. So what was?
Yeah. I can't remember.
Can you not? Yeah.
No, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But I definitely we didn't play him.
Did you?
No. But it just reminded me of a few things then we said about the academies now and all that. So as apprentice, you had to do 2 players' boots. Yeah. To the pros, you had to polish their boots. That was your job in the morning, and you have to clear up all the shit after training. And
Would you?
Yeah, you got given jobs and all that lot. And
that's gone now, innit? They all just get brand new boots.
Oh mate. But, so what it was though, you see, you'd be your boot man for 2 of the pros, first teamers, and you'd get their boots off them as well, wouldn't you, and stuff like that, and they'd give you a big tip at Christmas and all that lot.
Great job.
So if I had Neil Fish. He was size 7s, and I had a player called Mark Seagraves who had been at City and he'd been at Liverpool, and he was old school centre half, about 6'2", size 12 feet. So no, didn't fit me. Yeah, I'm size 15 feet. You see. I'm a big 9. So we got his boots. Yeah, couldn't do anything with him. No wanted him, but it was. But you know, some pros would go ape shit if the boots weren't, you know, immaculate.
Yeah.
But like, it was a knock-on effect. We always had clean boots, and it's something that's kind of stuck with me anyway.
Definitely.
As an adult now, even
Definitely.
me, you know, made sure my son's shoes were always sparkling for school. You know, I can judge a lot by people's condition of the footwear. You know what I mean? So yeah, we used to do all them sort of jobs, and one would have to go and do the butty run, or you'd have to go with the bookies and put a bet on for the players and all them sort of things. Which I guess you don't do that anymore. But it was a schooling, you know. It mans you up a bit, and you learn the ways of the world, and you'd learn a lot from doing these little shitty jobs.
Do you think kids nowadays are too muddy cuddled? Do you think everything's cotton?
Well, my son's 26.
Yeah.
And he isn't, you know what I mean?
Not?
No, he's got. So so it's a long time since I've seen what schools are like.
Yeah.
So I'm going to sit on the fence.
Yeah.
But it's a strong possibility that getting trophies for turning up is not a positive effect in a big wide world.
Yeah.
When reality is life isn't like that. You know, you're not going to get rewards for not coming first or doing well, are you? You know, even though I feel like people now think they've got younger generation. I might be wrong, just my opinion. Yeah. That they feel like they deserve things for nothing. Yeah. Awards or giving whatever for not doing anything to achieve them, not earning them. In my humble opinion, I may be wrong. I'm a long time out.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you've got a lot of points there.
I said to myself, coming up here today, I thought I'm going to just like off the cuff and just, you know, not prepare anything. Yeah. But one thing, I'm not going to go and talk about politics or, you know,
the way of the world at the minute.
Yeah, I'm going to be a bit, I'm going to tread lightly about things like that.
Yeah.
So with that, maybe, you know, there's a big difference between how my son was at school and how I think parents of my generation brought the sons up, daughters up compared to maybe now. Yeah. Or maybe it's down to the schools and the school systems and stuff, you know? Yeah. And is that have an effect on these people now who are in the big wide world and getting to work in HR and decision making and wanting to change politics within a company? Yeah. But I don't want to go too deep into it, mate.
No, interesting points. I get it. I hear it. You know what I mean? So did you end up going to America then? Did you?
So... Mate, I've not talked about any of this stuff or thought about it in years, mate. I'm really enjoying this, actually. So, we went to the trials in Blackpool. Yeah. And things went well. I was banging them in. Oh, by then as well, right? By then, I had long hair. Right. So, into the rave scene, everyone had long hair and all that lot, didn't they? So I had a ponytail. Did you? Yeah. And so I guess that sort of look stood out a little bit as well, you know, like getting stuck in and all that lot. Quite tall, you know what I mean, compared to other players. Stand out. And, it happens, and banging goals in, so I thought I've had a swap date. And then the night time we'd go out to piss. Yeah. So me and Paul, we're in Blackpool, it's all paid for. PFA had played for it, you know, I paid for it. So the night time, we'd go out on a piss around Blackpool as well with the lads, especially lads who we knew from college who were at Blackpool and Stockport County, some top kids at Stockport County as well. Berry, these other kids they'd all got onto it, you know, the ones who'd been released. Because in them days, mate, you'd have 10 apprentices, right? And maybe, especially the smaller clubs, the clubs I just mentioned then, not City, they had big money, but the other clubs didn't have a lot of money. So you'd have 10 apprentices per year and one, maybe two or none would get the pro contract. So there was a lot of kids being released, having their dreams broken.
It's less than 1% of kids that go through academy make any money in football. Yeah. Across the board, any leagues. Do you know what I mean?
Mate, I can imagine. Yeah. And now it's different because it was all British players. Yeah. So you were just competing with British kids. Yeah. And I know it's different now. So the pool for British players has got smaller and competing against a bigger pool of foreign players.
You say that because when I had the gym, there was a guy who used to come to the gym and he worked at Better Bolton. I'm trying to think of his name, and that was what he always said. I like to say Chris Potts, but it's not. I'll think Chris Jacobs. Okay. Chris Jacobs. So he worked with the kids, and he said. So he worked for, I think it was the 12s, 13, 14-year-olds. Right. He said that you get all these English kids up to that age, and then as soon as they open the doors to the European kids, the African kids, they all just get like pushed to one side because all these bigger kids come through, and that's like a massive problem with academies now.
Yeah.
So it's tough, very tough, isn't it? So go on, Blackpool, partying,
good times, had a great laugh. You know, that really, you know, I remember those. How long have we been talking?
No, we're good. We're good. Yeah, keep going. Yeah.
4 hours. What's your longest podcast you've done so far?
About 1.5 hours, isn't it?
So we've got to beat that. Got to have the record. What's the shortest?
We've done a 40-minute, haven't we? Yeah.
Have we beat that already?
Yeah.
Oh, right. So
we've not even got out your child.
I know, mate. Yeah. I need to move on and I'll cut some things out then.
No, it's good. It's good. So go on. Partying in Blackpool.
Brilliant times.
Yeah.
I thought I've fucking done really well here, and then in the rooms at the end.
Yeah.
They say, okay, so there's certain coaches are in the different hotel rooms. We're going to name the coach, what university they're at, and you go up to the room and they'll speak to you.
Yeah.
So they're calling out the names, and obviously you know each other and all that lot. I was like, fuck me, man, I've not even been called out here.
Yeah.
You know, Paul got me pal. He was a fucking rapid. Yeah, left back, wasn't he? Left back. He got called out and all that lot, and there was other kids there who I thought I've done better than him. He's a centre forward. I've done well here. I was banging the goals in.
Yeah.
And I never got called out. I was fucking like, what the fuck? Have they messed up here?
Yeah.
So I went and saw Mick. I think Mick Burns his name was. I can't remember now.
Right,
the guy who run the PFA, top guy who really looked after all the young players and all that lot. I went and spoke to him. He said, mate, when you did your GCSEs, you had to have something like 2 sciences or whatever, and I only had, I think I had biology, and it doesn't qualify for this certain thing. It was something like I got my GCSEs and all that lot, but I didn't have. You had to have a science or something
to get into the uni there.
Yeah.
Right.
So we couldn't put you on the eligibility list. It was something like that. Honestly, it was like fucking.
What a way to find out.
So it was something like, it sounds fishy that, doesn't it? But
Yeah.
it was something to do with, I only had physics and I needed some other science to qualify for this NAIC universities or whatever, you know, this and all this lot. And then, because I remember back at school, I took music as a GCSE, right? And I got a U in it because fucking music, everyone just pissed around, keyboard, instrument. So maybe I should have took a science instead of music. But anyway, so I remember, my mum, and by this time, my mum had remarried as well, kind of a couple of years later.
Yeah.
And I remember they came to pick me up in the car to take me home from Blackpool and stuff like that. And I do remember crying, right? I mean, I'll admit, I don't mind admitting that. I remember crying in the back of the car thinking, that's my football career done. I've finished. I've got fucking nowhere to go.
Yeah.
I've got nowhere to go. And I had nothing like, what am I going to do as a job? I've done nothing. I don't want to go college because I pissed around in day release at college for 2 years. I didn't want to go college or anything like that. What am I going to do? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
About 3 days later, I'm sure his name was Mickey Burns, I might be wrong, from the PFA said, listen, there's a club, there's a university, it's a small university, it's not the NA, it's an NA, so it's a smaller uni, but they have a football team, they have a baseball team, they have basketball teams, but they don't have American football teams, so that's how they differentiate the size. They said you're only allowed 3 foreign players in them days to represent the university teams. They've never had an English player, but they really fancy having an English player, and they've got a grant, full scholarship to take an English player on. They didn't make it to the trials, but I've told them about you. Do you want to go? Do you want to sign for University of Rio Grande, or they pronounce it Rio Grande in them days? But right, proper hillbilly area,
nice.
Like down the bottom there, West Virginia, Kentucky, and all that lot.
Wow.
And I went, yeah, I'll take anything.
Yeah.
So that all got sorted, and I was off. So finished at Bolton and all that lot, and then I had like a couple of months and I was off to America to start all over again. So this is my second chance. Went to America, so it was a 5-year scholarship. So what that means is you go to uni, you do your classes, you do your minimal, you got to pass your classes and all that lot, get a job, everything's paid for, you get all the kit and you're part of the school and you represent the school team. So I got to America, this is like 92, 93.
Yeah.
Only Englishman on campus. Got there like a couple of days before the rest of the team come. The only two, no, it was four. It was 4 foreign players who were allowed. The other 2 players who were Jamaican lads from Jamaica, so they spoke patois and all that lot. But they loved England, you know, dead patriotic about England and all that lot, and English football. And we had a buzz. We were staying in the same condominium for a few days and all that lot. And no one could understand them. They spoke proper, you know, patois. But the Americans, they couldn't understand them for some reason. And then all the Americans at first, I spoke too quick, and they thought I was Australian. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do you live near London? How far from London? I was like, about 4 hours.
Yeah,
so then it's near London. That's near London. So you know, with 4 hours drive, whatever.
Yeah.
So if anyone ever asked me any near London, I say you know. So I went there. Things went great, mate. To be honest, football wise was shit. I got an NAA Player of the Month and all that. Soccer, mate. Yeah. And so I was back scoring goals and everything.
Yeah.
Felt really good. But the university part of it, the college work, the uni work, I signed up for the minimum 12 hours and I signed up for anything. I wasn't even asked. I wasn't there for that.
Yeah.
Which is a mistake now. I was just there to play football and wanted to see where my football career went. And it was nothing. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't costing me anything.
Yeah.
And then it got me a job in the university library, where so getting some money, and I never did an hour's work in there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of them. All your food is paid for. It's good times. Only Englishmen on campus. So I'd make sure when I was at the bar, at the university bar, I'd be dead loud and ordering the drinks so people knew I was English and what you know one of them.
They love the English,
yeah. So that went well. The coach was really good. He was an up and coming coach. He was only young.
Yeah.
So that went well. We drank a lot as well. I was homesick for the English people because the Americans were nothing like the English. I missed the banter and having a buzz and fucking whipping someone's shorts down when they're looking. You know, just something stupid. That wasn't there.
I feel that, yeah.
The Americans, they were big, strong, fast. The training was harder than Bolton Wanderers. We trained 3 times a day. Swimming pool. Enjoyed the football side of it for sure. I started missing the classes a little bit and not really bothering about the classes as much really. Enjoying the football, that went well. Season finished. Come home, but I had a 5-year scholarship, but you only do 4 years at uni. So I come home, and when I come home, I thought I'll have a year off and then go back, in another year.
Yeah.
And then met my girlfriend. She got pregnant.
Right.
So there was no way I was going to go back because we had a baby coming. Do you know what I mean? It's still pretty young then. I think I'm like 19 then.
Okay.
So when Bolton Wanderers, before we got released from Bolton Wanderers, the PFA would put all the apprentices on football qualifications. They would pay for you, so at least you had some qualifications football-wise to follow coaching.
Yeah.
So I had me FA prelim, it was called in them days.
Right.
I don't know if it's equivalent to Euro thing or whatever it's called nowadays.
Yeah.
But it was your prelim, and you could get paid, and you could work for the county, you could work for councils and the FA if you had your prelim. So I had that. I took that. I remember doing that before I left Bolton. That was good buzz as well. That was at Bury's ground.
Right.
And there's a few pros were on it as well. And Bury's just been relegated. And me and some of the Scousers used to give the Bury pros a bit of shit about being relegated. They were happy, mate. They were trying to kick fucking lumps out of us. Which is wrong now when I think back.
They went down to League 2, didn't they? The old
so
League
this is
2,
this is like 92, 93.
I remember that.
Yeah. So, but that was the days. You was banter, wasn't it? You just ripped the piss. Yeah. So, come back from there, got a job. So I was back anyway. I was coaching for the Cheshire FA.
Right.
Teaching all the kids and stuff. So it'd be like a couple of hours a day maybe, or soccer schools and weekends. And then I was playing. So signed up for my local Saturday team, local Sunday team, which were pretty decent teams.
Yeah.
I was like one of the youngest in the open age, but they were winning everything and cup finals at Alties Ground and all that lot. So I had to, because we had a baby come, I had to get like a real job really. So I kind of fell away from football and sport as a job in any way, and coaching. It just wasn't enough money coaching. So worked for a design company, just driving, because I had no experience, I had no job experience other than football.
Yeah.
And then I got into I worked for manufacturers, forklift trucking and all that lot, and got into the trade union, so I was youngest shop steward on site. We had sites at Wythenshawe and Old Trafford, proper old school. You know, it's decent money for that sector, and we were like, people, it was called like Dead Man's Shoes. You had guys who'd been there 25, 30 years. You know what I mean? Was there for a few years, shop steward, then a branch secretary, then branch chairman, and really enjoyed that part of it.
Right.
Negotiating deals, or having to represent somebody who's got in trouble at work with and maybe they're late and wanted to give them a written warning or a final warning, and negotiating, going to union courses. So I enjoyed that bit.
That's good, yeah.
And I thought, there's a job here going in the trade union. I'm going to look deeper into it. But when I looked deeper into it and went on delegate meetings, it was really political.
Right.
And I'm not political, mate. I've got no allegiance to any political party. Some people follow politics like a political party, like it's a fucking football team. And they go, oh yeah, I've supported these Labour, because my dad did, my grand. I know politicians and politics change, and people sometimes are loyal to, so I'm not like that. I'm kind of in the middle, but like with anything, if you stand in the middle, you're always, if you're in the middle of the road, you're going to get hit by fucking traffic on both sides, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? So the politics side of it didn't interest me, so I thought, what am I going to do here? I was still playing football, enjoying it, but I was drinking on a pound a fight. So pound a pint or pound a fight on a Thursday night, right? Thursday night we'd be out, Friday night we'd be out, Saturday night we'd be out. Sometimes you're doing all day on a Sunday. So I used to play for I had a 7-a-side Thursday.
Was your little boy born then?
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
So I was like, so this, I'm going on about, by now I'm about 28, you know what I mean? I've skipped a good few years. Kind of had jobs, but it assisted to fucking pay for my family, do you know what I mean?
Definitely,
and I had a girl as well, a daughter as well. So I've done all that, but really, so I was getting to like 28, 29, I think, at that age. A lot of my mates in Altrincham were in some of my mates in Altrincham were in recruitment and earning loads of dough and having nice cars and whatnot, and I thought, I want a bit of this. I want to do something using my brain a little bit rather than like in the trade union and forklift trucking, which was good. I enjoyed it. It was banter, some unbelievable characters who used to work with. It was just a good crack. So there was a guy who I knew who was really successful, who'd known for years, and he had his own recruitment company, only a little one. It's called like a boutique type recruitment company, and I kept mithering him, saying, give me, take me on, trust me, I know I'll graft my bollocks off for you, I'll do it. Kept mithering him. Matthew Portis is called. We're still very good friends to this day. Kept mithering him. He said, right, and I said, I'll do it for free. Take me on for 3 months, and I'll do it for free. My kids were getting a bit older now, so I could afford to take a bit of a drop in money. So he took me on. 10 grand less than what I was on, but so I thought, I'm going to show him what I can do. And it was hard graft, it's new business, picking up new business on the phones and placing candidates in cold calling, all that lot. And it went well, and I was billing, I was earning some good money, and I got consultant of the year there. So which was an all-inclusive 2 weeks holiday to Mexico with Matthew, the owner, with Matthew Portis, the owner of the company. Right. But I think he just did that for me, if he's listening. So we had someone to go drinking with for these 2 weeks. So we did that. And then when I come back, I really wanted to. I knew it was only a small company, and I wanted to get a career. I wanted to earn big money. I wanted to earn really well. I knew to do that, I'd have to get to a bigger organisation. Went to a big one in city centre Manchester, which I was there for about 8 years. Recruitment. By then I stopped playing football at 30. It was always a buzz. I really enjoyed the football. Stopped playing football at 30. My last game was, we'd got to a cup final. Like we used to, one of the the Saturday and Sunday team, we get to a cup final most seasons, Altis Ground, and I was sub. And I thought, fucking hell, I can't even make the starting 11 here. Do you know what I mean? So that was when I retired from football. Got to 30. Started playing golf with some lads, because that's what you did. When you finished playing football, you play golf, and I thought I'd be fucking great at golf. You know, and I'll have this, and we'll start playing. You know, like the sound of it. 4 hours on a Sunday and have a beer after, whatever. Mate, I was dog dirt, or I was shocking. So say that's the pin or the flag there, whatever. I had to stand that way and it would slice it that way. But I could hit it for distance, but I couldn't hit it straight no matter
tough,
what.
innit, golf?
Oh mate, it's unbelievable. But leading up to that, I'd even bought all the clubs and the golf bag and everything, and then putting. I'm too heavy-handed. Me, the putting, it was a nightmare. It was just I think I'd be tapping it, it'd be going, you know, straight across past the hole and stuff like that. So I had lessons. Thought, I'm not having this. I had lessons. Tony Dunn, I'm sure he was called, ex-United. He used to do golf lessons at Altrincham Golf Club.
Right.
I'm sure it was Tony or his son. I definitely had golf lessons though, because remember I had golf lessons and I got worse. It made me fucking worse. You know, they broke my swing down.
Yeah.
So
Overthinking it.
Exactly that, my friend. Fucking paralysis by analysis, innit? I couldn't do it. So a couple of my mates who were into training, into the gym, you know, bodybuilding style training. So started training with them, and my mate Bugsy had a little gym, you know, like a big spare room at his house, and had built a little gym there, and he looked the part, you know what I mean? Just looked ripped and all that. So I'll have a bit of this, you know, something to do as well. So got into the weight training side of it. I really got into it, really started to get a bit dedicated to it, you know, and trying all different types of creatine and all that sort of stuff, and what be like anyone
fitness mindset.
Yeah, you know the drill. Yeah, definitely. And like anyone who first start lifting weights, you want to get big arms, big chest, and be as big as possible. Want a big neck and all that. Got put a bit aside. So by then as well, because of football, I got a bit of a beer belly, you know, after stop playing football and still drinking. I got a bit of a beer belly, dropped the beer belly, got in shape and got really into it, got dedicated. So I'm in my 30s now, not drinking because I've trained all week. I don't want to lose my gains and all that, you know, protein, all that. Got really into it. So that was going on in my that was my hobby, my interest, and I really enjoyed that. I wasn't drinking now even. And then started to learn more about nutrition, the right things to eat, the wrong time and timing, and you know, and got really into it. And then I train. Sometimes we'd go to the gym, a couple of mates who wanted to come train with me and all that lot as well, that sort of thing. So I was in recruitment, earning good money, and I fucking hated it. I hated it, mate, and I think I did it for 10 years, and I hated it with a passion, where I was going under mentally. I mean, feeling angry and just hated my job. You know, when you wake up in the morning and you don't want to do it and you're going under, but you know, as a dad and all, you've got to do that, and it's the right thing to do. And I hated it. And a pal of mine one day rang me, said, I've signed up for this white collar. This was when white collar boxing first come out, you know. So I'm about 37 then. About 37 white collar. So he's got this white collar show. And they're looking for an heavyweight, because I'm probably about 16 stone then. Which I'm heavier than now. This is the heaviest I've ever been, unintentionally, but that's down to lockdown, do you know what I mean? He said, jump on his show, it's in 6 weeks' time, there's a heavyweight, they needed someone to... So I thought, I'll have a bit of that, I can handle myself, I've had a few scraps over the years, I can have a bit of that.
Had you done any boxing before?
No.
Have you ever been in the ring before?
No. But I had a few tear-ups and whatnot, you know, protecting yourself, as you do, self-defence. And but I can do this. But I always loved boxing. Football was my first sport, boxing was my second, you know. But I'd never really done boxing. Football had took over my life. It was dedicated to football. So went and had this meeting with a guy. So they were called Formal Fight Club, and it was one of the brothers who owned Gi Goy Clothing, Donnelly.
Okay.
Something Donnelly.
Mancunian lads.
Yeah. Gi Goy and the sister.
They're still going.
I don't know if Gi Goy's still going, but
they
that was
big, weren't
mate, they were what we all wore back in the rave days. A pair of feeler boots, a Gi Goy top, clips and all that. Clips from Joe Blogs. So signed
Joe
up.
Blogs.
Yeah. Clips. And Pepe jeans. We signed up for it 6 weeks out. Thought I'll have a bit of this. You had to go and train with them. So it was based out of Moston and Collier's gym. Yeah. And the guy who did the boxing side of it was Tommy McDonough, ex-pro, Mate, he's a very funny man. Very, very funny. So you'd go to boxing class twice a week. So I thought I'd do that. And I'll go for runs on my lunchtime, and I'll be fit enough to do it. And I've got 6 weeks to do it. Didn't really have the opportunity to spar and all that lot.
Yeah.
Thought I'd have a bit of a tear up and I'd be right. You know what I mean? Oh, mate. So got in the ring. I knew I'd already seen my opponent. He was big. He was bigger than me, younger than me. I was like 38 now. Mate, I hung on for dear life in the third. Went the distance. Had a tear up.
Where was it?
It was in Manchester. It was opposite Piccadilly. It wasn't Manchester Piccadilly Hotel. They changed the name, but it was an opposite Piccadilly bus station.
Right. Yeah, Piccadilly Gattenheim.
I can see it there. I've got a poster on. I've still got the fight.
Have you? So quite a high hotel.
Yeah.
I think it's Hilton now, is it not?
No, it wasn't. No. So this is bloody hell. This is like
the Piccadilly.
This is like 10
Is it
years
called
ago.
Piccadilly?
It might have been, yeah.
Yeah,
But it was a Piccadilly. They called it a different name.
Right.
I think it become Piccadilly again.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So big event, black tie event, you know, and all that. And you had to. It's 50 quid a ticket, and everyone from work come, and my mates come. Sold about 50, 60 tickets, and everyone was steaming and all that lot. So heavyweight, so we're on near the end. Yeah, on near the end. Everyone's fucking bladdered by the time you get out.
Yeah.
Had a tear up. Much better boxer than me. He was fitter than me. I was hanging on for dear life. Didn't go down.
Tough, innit?
Yeah. Hanging on for dear life at the end of round 3.
So would you fight over five rounds?
No.
3.
What did I say then? 5?
No. So you were struggling in the third round.
Yeah, third round.
3 twos.
3 twos. Yeah. My fitness conditioning was totally wrong. Yeah. So I'd learnt, got beat. I wasn't that too gutted, to be honest, because I give a good account of myself. I took it on short notice. This kid was younger than me. He's supposed to be not boxed before. Didn't look like, you know the drill.
Yeah.
You know, didn't look like he had some skills for someone who'd only done it but for a few weeks. But there's a few blaggers out there anyway. Not taking anything away from it. Maybe it was his first. Not sour grapes. You know, he beat me fair and square without a doubt, and fair play to it. I wasn't too gutted. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Like, I loved the fight and like being and your mates there and having a buzz. And then I said to him afterwards, straight after, like you always do, put me down for the next one. Yeah. You know, put me down for the next one. I want to do it again. I want to win this time and all that. And they forgot about me. They never put me. Never. I didn't get on the next one. So a good mate of mine, Shorty, Ricky Short, he was there and he loved it as well. And he says, right, I'm going to do one. Will you train me for it? I says, I will. But I've learned the way I trained was the wrong way of doing it. Yeah. Which was a massive bonus. I learned that was the wrong way of just going for a run. You know, it's 3 twos, short, sharp interval stuff in it. It's not 5 mile light jog. You know, sparring. So at this time I trained him. Trained him up. He's like a couple of years below me, so he's about 36 as well. He's no box experience. Trained him for about 10 weeks. We sparred twice, 3 times. We make sure he sparred all the time and all that lot. And went to different clubs and go running, set a program for him the right way. Yeah, you know, learned from my mistakes, and he did that, and he won. And he was an even fight as well at the near Pitmere, like May Golf Country.
The May, yeah.
My mate Bug had something to do with it. I put
nice
that show on.
There, isn't it?
Yeah. So that was a fair fight, and he won that, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So while all this is going on, I hate my job, and I'm pretty much going into pretty much depression, to be honest. Like,
was it?
Yeah. There was only
still not drinking then. Was you
maybe on a Friday after. Yeah. So that was it, because I stopped my football and I was into lifting the weights, and I'd have a drink. On a Friday in recruitment. Yeah. Because we worked on King Street, and then we'd all go our bar one and get pissed and like you do and all that lot. So still drank, but not me Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which had happened when I was in my late 20s. Yeah. But not drinking all the time. And I was going under, and I look back and I kind of know now that I was like proper in a depression. I'd had bouts of it and it was pretty bad, but never really talked about that either, to be honest. The missus knew, because she could fucking tell something was up and I was going under. And I said, I couldn't bear it anymore. I couldn't bear it anymore, and just, I can't do this anymore. I fucking hate it, and I hate going here, and I hate being told what to do, and and they're wrong, and I'd had a good career, and then it's just things falling apart, and thought, like, fucking hell, I've got to get out of this, but what am I going to do? I've got no skills really other than recruitment. I've done a bit of forklift truck driving, and I did an NL, so I signed up. The good thing about recruitment was I could have been there that long. I think I'd been there like 10 years. I might be wrong, 8 years or 10 years or something, but you had a self-development plan. I could go on courses and they would give me the money to go for it. And I did an NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and positive thinking and anchoring, mate. And yeah. And it was the guy who run it though was a sports guy. His background in football, I think it was. This was in Bury. I did it, and you know what?
What was his name? Can you remember?
Oh, Jim Sprosler, something random, some mad name like that.
Yeah.
Jim, he's a bit of a hippie now. He's kind of he's got all long hair and kind of Jesus looking, kind of thing, But it was really good, and I don't know what it was. It was something that I needed then, and it sunk in. And this positive and taking a positive, you control your own mind and your own thoughts and the positivity, and I needed it really because I was negative about moaning. When I look back, by then I was fucking moaning about everything in my life and fucking sick of it, and I never became a footballer and bollocks and fucking not achieved anything in my life, pissed off. And it sunk. It grabbed me, and it was about anchoring and seeing your opinion and seeing your future and maybe reverse engineering it, and you know what I mean. And it's just the things and the positive vibe and always looking at the positive things. There's always a positive reaction and everything. So it really, I needed it actually. It helped me, and I thought, right, I need to get out of recruitment and fight and do something else. What I do and what can I do? What skills have I got? And other than really fitness, I was really getting into my PT and so forth, into my training and stuff. And my training had changed because I was getting involved in boxing, enjoying the boxing now. Yeah. I wasn't like bodybuilding style training. I was learning more about functional style training, movement and essence. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And S&C, and being more about agile and a bit more ripped and being like 14 stone, not 16 stone and that. Yeah. And then, so I signed up and did me level 2 and level 3. It was all in them days. I know you can do it all online now and all that kind. It was classroom stuff, and I think it was like a 6-week course.
It was tough. Yeah, it was proper.
It was all like exams, and you was face to face, and you were assessed there and then.
Yeah.
So
not like that now.
No. Yeah. But there again, that was like 6 weeks. But I know probably when you did it, it's probably 3-6 months, wasn't it? So what I did was probably not as tough as what you did, but the kids who were doing it now, it was not as tough what I did, or nowhere near as tough as what you did. It's kind of But I did the level 2 and did the level 3.
Yeah.
That was full time. So I'd left that recruitment company. I took the big decision. It had to be done. I had to leave. It was just for my own well-being. I thought I'm going to become a personal trainer and be my own boss, and then be happy. And my own goal is don't be motivated by money, because in recruitment I was chasing money all the time, billing. I was billed well and made some money out of it. I can still live off the money I made out of recruitment. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's chasing deals and all that lot, and it was always target driven. If you build 20 grand right, you've got to build 30 grand next month. But all that. And I'd done too much of it. I was in the trenches too long. Yeah. I just stayed in the trenches too long. Yeah. Never wanted to be a team leader or a manager. Didn't want that responsibility for the other people and all that bollocks, because I'm not. The corporate world didn't suit me anyway, because it's shit runs downhill, didn't it? Done it, and I was as a yes man. I could never be a yes man. If they're telling me, right, this is what we've got to do, I'd argue with it really. Yeah. So anyway, I got out of that, and I'd done my level 2 and level 3, and I remember when I walked in, I was about 39. About 38, 39. It's just it was all happening at the same time as me boxing. So again, because my memory's not great, there could be an overlap, or I might be wrong by a year or whatever. Yeah. But it's all kind of around the same time. I remember walking into the classroom, and I was a bit older than everybody else. And when I walked in, they all went quiet. They thought I was a tutor. Do you know? Yeah. That's the age difference.
Where did you do it?
Did it at DW Fitness opposite the Trafford Centre.
Yeah. Who was your teacher?
Right. So.
Cause the same place I did it.
Brilliant.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, Premier Training.
Global.
Premier Global,
yeah.
That's it. Yeah. And then the teacher was a guy who had a big impact on me. Because when I wasn't sure I was going to become a PT, and because the PTs I'd seen online, and none of my friends were PTs, were quite well polished and handsome bastards and slick back hair and tan and looked the part, and you know, and I'm kind of not like that, a bit more kind of rugged, I guess, or however you want. Anyway, the tutor came in, and his name was Ben McDonald.
Okay.
And he's about my age, maybe a bit older, but I could be wrong. If he's watching, if he ever watched this or listened to that, he might be 10 years younger than me, so I apologise. Right? He was an old soul, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was proper mank and all that, and he was just he was real positive person, but not cheesy positive. He was, you know, he'd push you and all that lot, and he was a right character. And the way he taught it, and you know, and showed how he'd been a coach, I thought that's how I'd probably. Yeah. His style would suit me more. Yeah. Having a joke rather than coming across as if you're a fucking physiotherapist or a doctor and talking about you. You know, and trying to bamboozle people with all the big names. I didn't think that would suit me. You know, some people like to do it that way, and there's nothing wrong with that. It wouldn't suit me. Yeah.
Exactly the same.
See, I'm trying to sit on the fence there and not slag people off.
No, it is. It's like, I'm exactly the same. Yeah.
So I did it, and I did that for the 6 or 8 weeks, or however long it was. Really enjoyed it. It was tough, but I really enjoyed it and learnt loads. And there was a kid who was on there, probably about 6 years younger than me, Adam Moon, who had lost his leg in Afghanistan. Right. Retired Royal Marine, top kid, and we, you know, when sometimes just get on with someone straight away. We just happened as it, luck would have it, we sat next to each other on the course, and we just got
gel,
on.
Don't you? I had that with Anne Brown. Yeah,
right,
yeah,
brilliant. So we got on, and we got each other through it, and I mean, he inspired me big time. Did you know? Yeah, he's fucking. Here's me like going under about fucking hating my job in recruitment and all that lot. And, you know what I mean? I've got 2 healthy kids, and I've got some money behind me now and all that lot. And this shit's happened to him, and he's positive and cracking on with it, getting things done. So that was another impact of my life. Like, fucking stay positive, you know. And so we become top friends. Really enjoyed the PT side of it. When the course had finished, got my qualifications, I realised I hadn't learned enough. It was just an overview to get your qualification.
Brilliant. It's just a ticket, innit?
Mate, I can't learn enough. And I thought, I can't go out now into the big wide world and teach people. You know, the nutrition side was good. I thought I need to know more about nutrition. I need to have more because there's questions I've got unanswered. So I did my precision nutrition online course, which is very in-depth.
Is that Ben... Who's the man behind that?
Oh, the big Dr. No, I know who you're thinking of.
It's not Ben Coomer, is it?
No.
He was another one, wasn't he?
So this is a Canadian firm. So this is going back. I think Ben and them boys, and that is it the
I can't remember.
They come a little bit later. So they precision nutrition.
Precision nutrition. Yeah.
Big organisation. I think out of Canada. It's really in depth, and I did that. And then I immediately went on and did my circuit instructor course, my suspended movement instructor course with anyone who's listening. In suspended movements like TRX, row, you know, that sort. Did that. Did my kettlebell qualification.
That's it.
Did that.
Yeah. Every week you're on a different course.
Yeah, absolutely. It's cost you a fortune. You're spending a fortune.
Did you do any of the Poliquin stuff, or did you stay away from that?
So I followed a bit of that. Yeah. Charles Poliquin. I actually met him.
Did you?
You probably. I bet you went about. Obviously, rest in peace.
Yeah.
He. Do you reckon about 4 or 5 years ago, he did a big webinar in Manchester City Centre.
He did it at Frontline. Was that where he was?
I don't know, but it was in. Fit. I think it was in Midland Hotel.
Right. Okay.
It was just like he did it one day seminar. And I jumped on it. And I met him and I got a picture with him and stuff like that. Yeah. So I believed in his stuff and I followed some of his stuff. Yeah. So I did all them. Yeah. So by this time, I feel like I quit now, and so I started working for my mate to get me these, you know, the small recruitment company. Yeah. Where I'd left, I'd gone back, but self-employed as associate director of his recruitment company, but not proactive. I was just reactive to anything that come in while I was doing all this PTing. And then I had a female-only boot camp that was going. So I was posting that heavily on social media, and then every time I did a qualification, I'd put it on Facebook and whatever, and then people who knew could have lived in Altrincham all my life, kind of thing. People would just like, I knew people on Facebook from Altrincham, they'd say, oh, so you just done will you train me? So I got lucky, I got quite a few clients early doors, training them in the house, going around their house and stuff. I didn't want to go to a commercial gym. There's no way. I'd seen how PTs were in commercial gyms, and when I've been on my PT qualification, he talked about how you have to pay this gym rent and a certain percentage. It didn't weigh up to me. I thought, that's not self-employed. You're you're treating you like an employee.
Tough,
I thought I didn't want to do this, and I was fortunate. I still had all my recruitment money to fall back on, so I didn't have to make decisions based on money. So I was training people out.
Driving to their houses.
With
a boot full of kettlebells.
You know the drill, mate. Kettlebells.
It's not a good business model, is it?
Resistance bands.
Use all your money in petrol.
Yeah. But I was doing it and I was learning,
and
I enjoyed it, and I got quite fortunate. I was getting some good results with some of my clients, and the boot camp was going. It was going really well.
Where was the boot camp?
Just on. It's funny how life comes full circle. It was on John Lee Park near me, where because of lockdown, I'm on there doing one-to-ones now.
Are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying going back to your roots? Because I'm toying with the idea.
I did last time, lockdown.
Did you?
It was a nice change. Nice. Yeah, but now I'm freezing my bollocks off, and at the end of my toes are done in by about 3 hours. So
you remember, yeah.
So, but it's nice. It's nice to get out, and it's something to do. My clients are enjoying it, actually. I'm not training that many. I'm not that busy because of it this time around. It's only kind of hardcore clients who are happy to train in the rain and snow and stuff, but they enjoy it as well. They get out, and we're not doing too bad. So that's what I was. I was a personal trainer, and I thought my clients were getting stronger, and we needed to train in a gym really, and I wanted to expand. And my boot camp was enjoying my boot camp and stuff, and in the winter. The boot camp, we've got a little hall, and it's just like the girls, and we do circuits and stuff like that. And I started doing like these HIIT things with them. I'd been on this MetaFit qualification thing, instructor course, and I was doing HIIT stuff with them, and I loved the HIIT. And I'd started to do HIIT style training myself because it was so effective in a short space of time. I'm a big believer in it. Getting everything in the right order. So I needed to have a private. I didn't want a commercial gym, so I started approaching gyms, Hale Fitness, and other little gyms and places in Altrincham or nearby.
Was Stevie Bell going then, or was that?
No.
So he won't go up and running then?
No, that wasn't there. No, next to Total Fitness. Wasn't there. So this is probably like 9 years ago now, 8-9 years, maybe 7, 8 maybe. It all kind of. I'm not too good on.
You do,
And then I was mooching about. I couldn't get anywhere. No one was interested. Do you know what I mean? I think it's because I weren't like. I wasn't your typical style PT. Do you know what I mean? And my social media posts, I was just being myself, and I didn't mind swearing and stuff. And I'd have a buzz, and I wasn't. At first, I used to post like how to do a deadlift properly and all the benefits of a deadlift and how not to do a deadlift and do all these videos, and no one gave a shit. No one cared. If I did a picture of a video, if I took a picture of my clients collapsed on the floor, dying, and just had a buzz taking a piss out of my clients, saying, people loved it, and I was getting clients off that. So my social media wasn't like how you'd expect it to be. I was just having a buzz with my clients, and my social media was really aimed at my clients, and by taking care of my clients and only caring about them, not saying, come PT with me and you'll get, I didn't do that. I just focused on my clients, and I was getting clients off the back of that. And my clients would always recommend me, so I needed a gym, and I was like, I'm getting loads of clients here. And no one was interested, and then a friend of mine, Greek lad, Stefan Haziakos, I was speaking to him one day in the sort of fitness, just training myself. So he says, there's one of the lads in the Greek community. He's got his own gym, Soma Fitness, Stelios he's called. Tell him you know me, and then go and have a speech to him. So obviously all the Greek and Cypriot community all know each other, don't really well. So I went and knocked on and spoke to Stelios. I said, I'm friends with Stefan. I've known him for years, and so I'm after. I said, how many hour clients you got and what you're doing? Is by the by, how long you've been doing it? He said, anyway, cut long story short, he decided to take me on, and we're going to pay-as-you-go basis when I train people and all that lot. I was just paying with the client, and I kind of worked out I had half the gym, and he'd kind of have the other half the gym. That's how it worked. So it went from there, and I was getting really busy and getting top results from my clients. So I had that PT side. It was mainly females who were losing a bit of weight, who were like in the late 30s, 40s, and then the boxing side of it. When I had this base now, a few of my mates who were still mates with from school, who were like by now they're getting in the early 40s. We decided to have a little fight club.
Yeah.
So we set up a fight club just for me and my mates on a Friday night. We'd have a warm up, do some boxing technique, and then all get in this room and have a tear up and spar with each other. Right. And it was a buzz. I loved it, mate. I really enjoyed it. You're not levering each other, you're just having not taking it, not chat away at each other. And I loved it. And then I come across, have I done this the right order? Mate, I'm not sure if it's the right order, but our mutual friend, the legend that is Danny Hornsby, Danny KO, boxing promoter. He had, I was somehow connected to him on Facebook. I didn't know him, and I met him, and he was advertising for a show at the Midland, looking for fighters, novices, first timers. So I spoke to the lads, and 3 of the lads wanted to do it, and rang Danny up. He come down, he did a meeting with us and some of the lads. Proper character, Danny. Really liked him, how he come across. He come down, he was being straight. He weren't messing about, he was telling exactly the pros and cons and all that lot. I really liked him. I thought, fucking good, he's not bullshitting it. He's telling you how it is, the positives, negatives. The lads did it, trained them up for it. I did a proper fight camp for them. At this time, while I was doing that, I've realised that I was more going down the strength and conditioning route and not a personal trainer. I was picking up clients who had been fit previously, got a bit older, lost it, put a bit of weight on, and wanted to get fit again and be more active and do runs and stuff like that. So I found a chap called Ben Chaplin, strength conditioning education, and I did his level 2. And at the same time I was doing that, I wrote my programme for the 10-week fight programme for the lads. And because he trained boxers and martial artists, I asked him to just approve my 10-week S&C programme and what he thought was in the programming of it. I wanted to do a proper programme, nothing left to chance, and tear it, phase it out, and so they're absolutely sharp, ready to go for the fight week. And he chopped and changed a little bit of it. Anyway, we fought on his show, and it was fair matchups, and they all had good tear-ups. All my 3 lads were fit. Were they? And and I discovered that anyway in the white collar game. It's fitness, isn't it? It's your fitness. Yeah. If people had 2 novices or only had a couple of fights, if they're not ex-pros, whatever, it's your fitness, and you will win on your fitness. If you keep your guard tight, you will win. And the lads, these were fit, and he'd won, and really enjoyed it. So I did my level 2 strength conditioning qualification with this there at the same time, passed that. And then this Ben Chaplin, Brendan Chaplin. Brendan Chaplin.
Chaplin rang a bell, Brendan. He's been about, he's got a good name in the game, hasn't he?
So he did this apprentice.
He's still about. I still see him stuff on.
He's still going.
Doing stuff.
Some great content, and he's connected to so many top S&C coaches. And his level 3 was dear. It was a few quid, but the level 3, if you did it, you got a mentorship with it as well.
Right.
And I signed up for that. And I asked Brendan if he'd be my mentor on it as well, and he did. I thought buzzing, so I did my level 3. While this level 3's going on, because I met Danny and I trusted him, and it looked all fair matchups, thought I need to make a comeback here. I want a revenge of my defeat. And so I put my name down for one of his shows, fought on his show and got me win. Won, buzzing, loved it. I loved the training, I loved the S&C, I loved the fucking. And I knew my training was right, I'd got my fitness right, and then I was getting into my boxing, and I was doing some pads with Stelios, and I'd gone to
you can't beat that training.
No,
you can't.
No, mate. I just loved it, and it felt right. Boxing was like my therapy. I was still in this positive mindset. Wasn't going under. Boxing was my therapy, And then Mark Davison, who's a top amateur coach, was going to him as well on the pads, and I was learning loads from him, loads of technical stuff, and he was a top coach. And then through Danny and going on his show, Matthew Hatton, and I was doing some stuff with him, so I was learning all how to be a good boxing coach, techniques through these guys. And then Hatton Academy did their, like, I think it was whatever it is, intermediate, advanced
work,
yeah, no, that lot. Blaine, Eunice, and Charlotte were the coaches. There, so Blaine's like does all the pros as a pad man, and Charlotte's top boxing pads as well. So I did all my Hatton qualifications for boxing coaching as well, to learn the pads and technique. And I took to it. I really loved the rhythm, and I really enjoyed it. So I've got all this going on now. At the same time, my boot camp, I decided to expand it into a HIIT class, and I was doing a HIIT class on a Monday and a Wednesday night, and I'm getting busy. It was full on. It wasn't easy. And I would advertise it as like, this will kill you. It's effective. It works, but it's not for the faint-hearted. I was trying to put people off, because you know how that works if you. And it was working. So I've got my HIIT class going on a Monday and a Wednesday, and I've got my boxing going on. So I'm now becoming more of a boxing coach, and I've got people sign up to me all the time to do white collar shows, and my fight club. The lads, we were always getting on shows and all that lot, and I was staying fit, and I was signing up for Danny's shows. So I ended up having 14 white collar unlicensed fights myself.
Right, wow.
Only up till 2 years ago.
Right.
The last one was 2 years ago when I was 45.
Brilliant.
So I will do more. You know. So while all this is going on, I'm doing my level 3, and I've got Brendan's my mentor, and it's full on this level 3. It's no pissing. It's not messing about. It's a lot of coursework. It's a lot of investigating. It's full on. It was tough, but when you really enjoy something, you do it, don't you? I was really enjoying it, and the information I was getting from it. So I did that with Brendan, and got to meet some top S&C coaches who were up and coming, or who were experienced but wanted to expand their knowledge and network. And we had other mentors like Brendan who were on these meetups that we'd go to. Did that, really enjoyed that, and then what I fancied more, I thought I really love this S&C side of thing, this science behind it, evidence-based practice coupled with that practice-based evidence. I was really getting into it, and the science behind it, and then coupled with things that I tried with people that I knew that worked. And so I was moving away from my PT side and getting more and more S&C, and my boxing, I was doing a lot more white collar stuff. So at the same time, I got myself a little boxing gym in Altrincham, got a ring, got it all set up, got the bags up, and started a fight club. Well, this was the fight club anyway, but we've got a name, TTBN, which we end up having 85 fights on white collar shows between us all. Yeah, so I had I had 14 in total, so I think 13 was as TTBN, so what's that, like 70 fights? Girls as well, we had females fighting on it and all sorts. And so I had this, so all this is going on. I did my level 3, enjoyed that, passed that, and then I did my level 4 as well, S&C, which was quite tough. And you had to do this big coursework, and the coursework was a 12-month fight plan. What I chose for a professional boxer,
right?
And how to all the tapering and time out and all that lot, and I really enjoyed that. At the same time, me and Matthew become really good friends, really good, and enjoyed training with him as Mark. I was doing Stelios and stuff like that. So I felt I was taking what I was learning from them guys, who are more experienced than me, and they're good, because you surround yourself with people better than you, don't you? And then you learn from them. So I was learning from these guys, and I was putting things into my stuff, and I'm thinking of my own stuff as well, and that was going really well. And then I'd had all my fights and all that lot, and then another big change in my life happened. I fucking snapped my arm. Got all stitching in there. The scar in there. I snapped my distal bicep tendon. Wow. Sparring. I was devastated. I had a few lads and some of the girls who trained had fought in the Ritz in Manchester on one of Danny's shows. And I'd never fought there myself, and I'd signed up for one.
At the
Ritz on one of Danny's shows. So I was training for that, and I was sparring with one of the lads who was training. I come in, threw a body shot, and he's dropped, not on purpose, he's just dropped his elbow right on there, and he just snapped it. My bicep was hanging off.
Wow. Wow.
I knew something was wrong, you know. He's like, look at this. Yeah. Drove to hospital. The had an X-ray, said you're gonna have to go for a scan. Went for a scan and all this lot. So by this time, my arm's like this, and I've got it in a sling. And then it took him 3 months before he had surgery. And when I went to have surgery, they said they couldn't save me tendon, so they removed the tendon and put a donor tendon in. Right. Donor tendon in. Wow. So by this time, I'm not working as much. Yeah. You know, I'm not getting as many hours in. I've still got to work and train people. I've still got my fight club, and I was padding people one-handed. Right. I'd learnt to pad one-handed, but I still had commitments to people who were fighting on shows, who I was training and part of the corner team. Yeah. So I asked Matthew, and Matthew would help me pad them as part. You know, so I was still my guys. Matthew Hatton is.
Yeah.
I'd still my guys. I'd write their programme out in the S&C and stuff like that, and the running part of it and sprints and things, and they got Matthew to the pad side of it, so we built a really good relationship with Matthew that way. This all was a nightmare. I'd had my surgery, then I had a splint for 12 weeks, you know, like that every week, go back, and when I took the splint off, my shoulder was fucked, and I had like frozen shoulder, so they said to me, you can have surgery to repair your frozen shoulder, which is a byproduct of waiting for having surgery. So you can have surgery for that, or you can have keyhole surgery or whatever, steroid injection, which to me is like, well, that's not healing it, that's masking it, you know. It's just putting scaffolding round, but it's still going to fall down, you know. Or you can rehab it out. So I said, well, go with the rehab without a doubt. So they put me onto physio. In Urmston, Trafford General is that? Yeah. Urmston, physio there, but they could only do your half an hour a week. It was, you know what I mean? Right. Anyway, I got really well with physio, and he managed to get me in a couple of half hours a week instead of, you know, to fix that because I needed it for work and stuff like that. And then I went private physio as well. Matt Fox, who's a top guy, he really looked after me. So did all that. But I realised then that I can't rely on doing it. I'd come accustomed to not working as many hours now. You know, you get that busy in PT and you've got all these classes and you've got everything going on. Yeah. You've suddenly lost your life, haven't you? Of course. And you can't go out on a Saturday night because you've got a load of people sparring on a Sunday, so you can't be drunk. And then before you know it, you've lost your life a little, your private life a little bit, because you've dedicated to working every night and doing stuff, and then you're saying no to going out to do's or drinking, or you're going out but you're not drinking, and then people stop. You know, you start to lose your mates a little bit, don't you? Like, don't get invited and everything because you've become, they class you as a bit boring because you stop drinking and or doing anything or shooting off early. Yeah. So that was a time to reflect again. Like, fucking hell, you know. Since I've been having my surgery, not working as much. Have we beat the record yet?
We're
yeah. Oh, sorry. I'll
We've got about 10 minutes.
Oh, have we? Right, a lot of editing there to do.
No, we'll roll it.
We're nearly there though. We're nearly at present day now. I've never got this off my chest, so I've never been able to speak about it.
Yeah. 5 minutes. Yeah.
I'll do it in 4.
Right, go on.
Did all that. Realised I wanted a bit more of my life back, not working every night and training people, not doing as many clients and stuff like that. And I got speaking to Matthew one day, Matthew Hatton, and he just got his new gym. He just moved to his new gym. It was fucking massive. It looked ace. I think about 16 bags, big ring, and all this other area for the weights area. He hadn't done anything with it yet, and I thought, this look ace. And I said to him, so I'd love to help design this part and put AstroTurf down here and have squat racks there, and I said, I don't mind, I'd like the project of doing it, and we did that together, and we got chatting, and cut a long story short, we decided we should partner up at the gym, and I'll do focus more on me, because I was becoming my niche was I was still PTing and doing my boxing coaching and strength conditioning, but my real niche now had become boxing strength conditioning.
Right.
I've been doing it for a few years and getting great results with it. And so I was partnered with Matthew in Bredbury's new gym.
Yeah.
It'd been open a good few months. So I decided to go there. So then I wouldn't do as many hours. It'd give me the opportunity to just kind of not do as many every night, just do a couple of nights and stop my classes, even though I did run for 4 years and they went really well. Stop my classes and I wanted to run courses.
Yeah.
And we've come up with this like a fighting fit course. We've done 11 courses now.
Amazing.
And we love it. Really enjoy it, and people come back and do it again. It's for novices, and we teach them how to train as if you're going to have like an 8-week fight camp. Yeah. What's the right food, the right way to train, how to defend yourself, throw the shots,
brilliant.
Do strength conditioning, and we love it. And and I really enjoyed that. And the opportunity to go there as well was to work with Matthew's pros. So Matthew's a pro coach, and a pro manager. And so he put me forward to do my corners pro license. And when I've been there, I've managed to be in a corner team for 13 of his 13 pro fights as well. Wow. So that was I've rushed it, but I've obviously been waffling to death to you.
We'll have to do a round 2. I'll have to do a part 2.
So through that injury again, and the turning point, I needed a change, and Stelios was brilliant. Really enjoyed there at Stelios at his Soma in Altrincham, and then where with Matthew, and it's gone so quick, pal. In April, I've been there 3 years.
Wow.
Obviously, since March of last year, when we look at lockdown rules, the gym's been shut for fucking 7 months of those 10 months. I know it's been tough times for everyone. Fortunately, the pros can still train following guidelines and stuff. So, although the gym's been shut, I've been able to get up there now and again and work with the pros and see Matthew and stuff. So, answering that one question, that's kind of my fitness side of things, and got to where I am now, and amazing. Like really happy, and it's never planned. Things just kind of fell into place, and let's do this next, or let's do a fight club next. And I didn't do a fight club so we can all do white collar shows. We did the fight club, and then hey, let's do white collar shows. Who wants to do it? Let's get our own boxing gym and put a ring in it, and we can train. And it's just followed up. I've just found if you just keep doing what you're passionate about and you enjoy, and you be yourself, you'll find like-minded people. Yeah. And they you like birds of a feather, and you'll get on with them as well. So if you're honest to yourself and true to yourself and portray yourself as you, people who come to you as your clients or your athletes, they're gonna like that part of you, because they're like that as well, and you're gonna get on with them, and then you're gonna get on with your clients, because you've got to get on with your clients, and and really care about them eventually. Yeah.
You've got to have that one. Andy, absolutely, mate. You've smashed the record anyway, which is brilliant. We're running out of memory. But no, that is brilliant. Thank you so much for coming down. How can people find out a bit more about yourself?
I'm on Instagram.
Yeah, I'll put your tag on the bottom.
Oh, brilliant. Andy Jones, 1973. Yeah. Facebook page is Andy Jones Fitness. The boxing gym, which is the boxing and fitness gym, is Magic Hatton Boxing and Fitness.
Fantastic.
And,
brilliant. Right, nice one. COVID safe, fist bump. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, mate.